Right now at 5, a big name in Wisconsin sports is suddenly gone. How the Packers are honoring the late Ted Thompson.
And getting out of quarantine or isolation doesn't mean you're out of the woods with COVID. We'll see how UW Health is warning of what COVID can do to your lungs.
Plus, police reform will take a lot of negotiation if a task force hearing today in Madison is any indication.
This is News 3 Now at 5.
I was his first pick. Ted stuck with his philosophy of taking the best player available on his board, and I'll forever be indebted to him for that.
Packers greats, past and present, saluting one of the key figures in bringing the title back to Titletown. And thanks for staying with us. Former Packers general manager Ted Thompson has died just a few days after his 68th birthday.
In 2019, Thompson stepped away from the Packers organization after being diagnosed with an autonomic disorder affecting his nervous system. Our sports director, Zach Hanley, has more reaction from former players on the death of Ted Thompson. Zach, a big shock today.
Yeah, it's a sad day for the Green Bay Packers organization, current and former players, and their fans. Longtime general manager Ted Thompson passed away at the age of 68. And once the news broke, former players took to Twitter to thank Thompson. Randall Cobb tweeted, "I'm heartbroken by the news of Ted Thompson. I'll be forever thankful for him believing in me. Hashtag win it for Ted." Charles Woodson added, "RIP TT. Thanks for bringing in this washed-up player and giving me a chance to play in the hashtag green and gold." And John Kuhn summed it up best, saying, "You changed our lives."
Certainly, he's a guy that is held in the highest regard in this building, and I think just around the league. He's had a tremendous impact. Certainly, we're sitting here with heavy hearts today. I've only had a few opportunities to meet him over the last couple of years, but you know, I just know how important he was to many people in this building.
Now, under Thompson's leadership, the Packers won Super Bowl 45. His first draft pick was Aaron Rodgers. Other notable picks in the Thompson era: Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Kenny Clark. The list goes on and on. The franchise plans to honor Thompson's legacy by installing his name on the Lambeau Field facade.
Well, certainly a big part of Packer history. Zach, thank you. We have more reaction from former and current players on our News 3 Now app. You can download it for free in your phone's app store.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Much colder weather on Friday will be followed by some snow. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is watching the forecast. Gary?
Susan, and because of that, we have alert days in the forecast for Saturday night and Sunday. Now, that snow looks to be pretty much on track. We're looking at about a 2 to 5 inch snowfall. Heaviest amounts probably north and west of Madison, but a general 2 to 5 inch snowfall. Pretty high confidence in that. The other alert day is from Monday and Monday night. Now, this storm has a lower confidence. The computer models have been shifting it back and forth. But wherever it occurs, it's most likely to have a band of very heavy snow. Right now, that band has shifted just south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. Yesterday, it was right on top of us. So again, we're keeping an eye on that. It's a high enough impact that we have an alert day in the forecast for that. Visible cloud track shows that we had sunshine today, but clouds are coming in with a cold front from the north and west. Right now, a few flurries up into central Wisconsin. We might see a couple of flurries this evening, but right now, most of those are confined to areas closer to Fond du Lac and the Fox Valley. High temperatures today, upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Another mild day, but those temperatures have dropped into the middle 30s. And as those temperatures fall and winds pick up overnight, by morning, these are wind chills from Future Track at around 8 a.m., running between about 0 and 10 below 0. So look for those temperatures to drop off pretty rapidly. Skies will turn partly cloudy or clear overnight. Low temperatures dropping to the single digits. Tomorrow's high only at 15. Then we prepare for the snow for the weekend. I'll have more in the forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. President Joe Biden bashed the failed vaccine rollout of the previous administration before announcing new executive actions that he's taking to fight COVID-19. He's putting forth his national COVID-19 strategy to ramp up vaccinations and testing, reopen schools and businesses, and increase the use of masks. It also includes a requirement that Americans mask up for travel. He signed 10 virus-related executive orders today, with the nation deep in the deadliest wave of the pandemic and facing worrisome new mutations.
This is a wartime undertaking. Today, I'm signing an executive action to use the Defense Production Act and all other available authorities to direct all federal agencies and private industry to accelerate the making of everything that's needed to protect, test, vaccinate, and take care of our people.
President Biden has vowed to take more aggressive measures than his predecessor to contain the virus, but he faces steep obstacles, including uncertainty over whether congressional Republicans will help pass his $1.9 trillion coronavirus package.
Well, it was one of President Trump's top campaign promises, but one day after the Biden administration took over the White House, work on the border wall has come to a halt. The Defense Department paused construction on the wall as it reviews President Biden's executive order. Billions of dollars were poured into the wall during the Trump administration, resulting in 455 miles of new construction, a majority of which simply replaced old barriers.
Within the last hour, Unity Point Meritor says it has begun vaccinating patients over the age of 65. Healthcare officials started administering the vaccine to those patients today. Officials with Meritor are actively reaching out to primary care patients to set up vaccination appointments for those who are eligible. Patients will be notified by text, phone call, or by My Unity Point. Health officials are reminding patients not to call them.
State health officials are continuing to tell Wisconsinites to be patient, show perseverance while waiting for their turn to receive the vaccine. Right now, over 700,000 residents in the state, 65 and older, are eligible. Yesterday, a state advisory committee recommended that grocery store workers and transit bus drivers be added to be included in Phase 1B. State health officials say that people 65 and older, along with that recommended group and those who are in Phase 1A, make up about 45% of the state's adult population. That's about 2 million people. They say they do not have enough vaccines right now to vaccinate them all.
Because we are still not getting enough of it from the federal government on a weekly basis. Each week, we receive approximately 70,000 first dose vaccines. And we understand, based on conversations with the federal government, that our supply will remain at this level for at least the next 3 to 4 weeks.
And as for those grocery store employees and transit drivers, DHS hopes to make a determination on those populations, quote, very soon.
So far, over 285,000 vaccine doses have been administered in Wisconsin. Over 17,000 of those doses were administered just yesterday. Wisconsin has been allocated nearly 780,000 vaccines, but around 500,000 of them have yet to be administered. Nearly 2,200 Wisconsinites have been diagnosed with COVID-19 within the past day. Data shows 2,190 people have tested positive since Wednesday, bringing the state's lifetime total number of cases to 528,449. An additional 45 COVID-19 deaths have been confirmed, bringing the state's total death toll to 5,700.
The latest coronavirus numbers show the huge challenge facing President Biden on the pandemic. Yesterday, U.S. officials reported another 4,200 deaths. That brought the official death toll to more than 406,000, 1 year to the day since we learned of the first COVID-19 infection in this country. We know that the shortness of breath and difficulty breathing are common symptoms of COVID-19.
But how does that short-term symptom impact you? How does it impact you in the long term? Our Jamie Perez shows us.
Today I spoke with the chief of thoracic imaging at UW Health. He compared side by side what normal lungs, smokers' lungs, and COVID lungs look like. Now the images are pretty striking. Normal healthy lungs shown on the left there show up on the scan as all black. Smokers' lungs mostly black with large holes from prolonged damage. Then on the right, COVID lungs, mostly showing up as gray and white from the scarring.
When you have either scar tissue or inflammatory tissue in your lungs, it prevents oxygen from getting into your blood and carbon dioxide from leaving. And that's why some patients with severe COVID require supplemental oxygen, or they may require even mechanical ventilation.
He said the damage caused from smoking happens over years of time. The damage from COVID, on the other hand, happens in days to weeks. Coming up tonight at 6, we're going to hear more from the expert who provided us these images to tell you how long your lungs could look like that if you contract COVID.
All right, we will see you then. Jamie, thank you. UW-Madison is updating its COVID-19 protocols ahead of students returning for the spring semester. Undergraduate students living in certain areas downtown will be required to be tested twice a week using a new saliva testing method. And access to university buildings will be restricted to those who can prove they are up to date on their tests and have not tested positive. To make the additional testing possible, there will be several testing locations available at various times per day, including weekends. And we'll have reaction from students coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
The jobs crisis soared during President Trump's final week in office. The U.S. Labor Department reporting today 900,000 Americans filed for unemployment benefits for the first time. That number down slightly from the prior week when claims rose to 926,000. Continued jobless claims, which count workers who have applied for aid for at least 2 weeks in a row, fell to 5.1 million.
The Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra is creating a fund to help support its artists who are struggling during the pandemic. The Musician Relief Fund is designed to replace lost wages due to canceled performances. The fund is aiming to raise at least $30,000 to help over 30 Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra musicians. For some of the musicians, it's their main source of income.
The organization has been okay for this first year, but the longer and longer that we go without being able to give truly in-person concerts, the more that something like this really, really does matter.
WCO is teaming up with Eat Street, the Madison-based restaurant delivery service, through next Thursday. Anyone in Madison and the Janesville area who uses the promo code WCO on Eat Street will receive $1 off their order and a $10 coupon to use on Winter Chamber Series tickets. Eat Street will also make a donation to the Musician Relief Fund.
3 weeks into the legislative session, Wisconsin lawmakers are turning to police reform.
Amy Reed joins us live to explain what ideas are on the table now. Amy?
Both the Senate and the Assembly are taking ideas that were popularized last summer and turning them to action now. Today, the Speaker's task force on racial disparities looks specifically at use of force policies and whether even an officer removing their gun from their holster should count.
How do we change the culture in the police department? How do we change the culture then? What are we here for? Accountability.
Members of the Speaker's task force on racial disparities struggled to agree on defining use of force during their meeting Thursday. Activist groups argued officers even pulling out a gun should count and be documented.
We need to know, what steps did you take before you drew your gun? I've had guns drawn on me by officers. There was no de-escalation. There was just intimidation. There needs to be a record of that.
Members of law enforcement worried about the amount of paperwork that would create and whether that data would be useful for such a common practice.
That takes them off the street. They're not doing, at that point, what they should be doing. So I'm not convinced that a policy of reporting to the state of Wisconsin every time you unholster a weapon would be good policy.
Driving while black is a reality. And I might travel into a rural area, and an officer may use that pulling of his weapon as a deterrent or some type of intimidation to me. So even though it may pull that officer off the street, off his beat, for him to violate my constitutional rights isn't right.
The discussion will likely impact bipartisan bills state senators are looking at. Senators Wangard, Darling, and Taylor have signed on to legislation that creates an independent use of force review board and protects whistleblowers who report excessive force. Other bills would ban chokeholds, require annual reporting of use of force incidents, and require publication of individual use of force policies.
Now, one bill that senators are looking at that is not gaining bipartisan steam would take money from municipalities that cut police department budgets. So if Madison cut $10,000 from MPD, the state would cut $10,000 from its aid to Madison.
Amy Reed live at the Capitol tonight. Amy, thank you. More to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, businesses in downtown Madison are removing boards that are covering their storefronts. What business owners are saying. That's still ahead at 5. And coming up tonight at 6, we're asking a local healthcare provider how long they anticipate it'll take to vaccinate Wisconsin Wisconsinites 65 and older. That story next hour. And on Wall Street, mixed numbers. The Dow falling a dozen. The NASDAQ jumps 74. S&P adds a little more than a point. We'll be right back.
Menards carries everything you need to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Cold weather is hard on your car or truck. Get a reliable AC Delco battery. This group size 65, 36-month free replacement AC Delco battery is just $99.99. And all other AC Delco batteries are now on sale. Choose from 24 group sizes. Save big on AC Delco automotive batteries and everything else to keep you going now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Oh, baby, I have sinned. Baby, this is my last confession. You know I've never been no good. But when I'm with you, it feels like heaven. I'm begging for mercy, baby. Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
This is the big one, folks. The Brothers Maine Everything's on Sale sale. Get huge clearance prices on every brand in the store with 0% financing for up to 18 months. Only Maine delivers more satisfaction every day, like a risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee, giving you 100% confidence in your purchase. How's that for more? The Everything's on Sale sale with more selection, more savings, and more happy homes on everything. Now at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Accurate news as it happens.
We need more vaccine to be allocated to our state.
Right here, where you live.
In 2022, we should hopefully have a new and improved Beltline.
Information that you can use.
Water backup is not part of the standard homeowners insurance coverage.
From the team you can trust.
This bomb was placed in a way that really could have hurt people.
For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. A surprise party, a wedding proposal, an unexpected bonus at work. Some surprises are awesome, but this? Weather like this should never be a surprise. Not when you watch News 3 Now, where you get an accurate, reliable forecast, so you're never caught off guard by the weather. Need to get up early to shovel, add time to your commute, wear boots, rebook a flight? Let News 3 Now First Warn Weather give you everything you need to know, so you can plan your life.
Tonight at 6, we're asking a local health care provider how long they anticipate it will take to vaccinate Wisconsinites 65 and older. And for the first time in months, boards are coming off windows in downtown Madison at businesses, the latest at 6.
Wisconsin launches a new program to get more residents vaccinated, and UW students are pitching in to help.
We all join a healthcare profession because we want to help people.
Why mobile vaccination teams could be a game changer. Tonight on News 3 Now at 10. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Some of the boards that have been up on downtown businesses in Madison for months are coming down today.
Adam Duxter live on State Street with what business owners are saying and what the mayor wants them to know. Adam.
Yeah, some of the business owners I spoke with today say they either put up new boards ahead of possible protests this past weekend or simply had not taken their boards down since all the way past the spring and through the summer from the civil unrest we saw then. Nonetheless, they said they felt today is the day, and those who support local businesses here in Madison say it's a step in the right direction. Now, earlier today, we caught boards coming down at both the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art as well as stores like Warby Parker. And owners say between this and restrictions lifting with coronavirus as the COVID vaccine rolls out, they're hopeful for better days ahead. Madison's mayor says she's encouraged to see the changes too.
I certainly support that. I think it's an individual business decision, but I think that it's likely time for that to start happening again, particularly hopefully as we move into spring and people will be outside more and coming back downtown again.
And Mayor Rhodes Conway says the city will continue to work overtime to help process recovery funds for downtown businesses, as well as the storefronts now downtown that sit vacant. She says they're planning to come up with pop-up shops in other ways to fill those spaces. As for tonight, the business owners I spoke with really want to stress to people that not only are they open, but it is also safe to come here in downtown Madison.
All right, Adam, thank you. Let's get a look now at your first warn weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has the forecast. Gary?
Well, Susan, we have alert days in the forecast for Saturday night and Sunday. That storm system will bring several inches of snow accumulation. It'll be perhaps maybe a 6 to 10 hour event where we see accumulating snow with some flurries either side of that, but more likely from later Saturday night into Sunday morning, and the flurries winding down on Sunday afternoon. We also have an alert day in for a storm system potential on Monday. That storm system, a little bit lower confidence on that. The storm could stay south of us, or it could move farther to the north. It will have a bigger impact whoever it affects, and so it's close enough right now that we do have an alert day to kind of keep your eye on this type of storm, especially if you have travel plans on Monday. The first storm system, again, the computer model's in pretty good agreement, about a 2 to 4 inch, maybe locally 5-inch amount farther out toward the Dells, say, and up toward La Crosse. Heaviest snow totals probably over southern Minnesota. That takes us through Sunday evening. The second system has moved a little bit farther south on the European computer model, showing less than an inch in Madison, about 2 to 4 inches near the Illinois state line. But look at the snow totals just south of the Illinois state line. Remember, yesterday that storm was right over us as far as the heavier snow totals. So a very sharp cutoff, making it a very difficult storm to predict. The GFS computer model, the U.S. one, even has less snow amounts for Monday. So again, this is just the Monday storm system. So we have an alert day in the forecast, but it's not a slam dunk by any stretch of the imagination. But if it does happen, it will have probably a much bigger impact than what will happen Saturday night and Sunday. Upper air pattern tells the story. For tomorrow, we're going to see a wind shift to the west-northwest. That'll bring in a lobe of colder air. Temperatures by Saturday morning could be down to around 0. But on Sunday, notice the wind flow from the southwest. That allows moisture to start moving up from the south. There's also a pretty good temperature contrast here. But again, the storm system on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday will be a little weaker. The one for Monday, pretty much the same weather pattern. So again, another storm following in the footprints of the first storm brings the potential for heavier snow, but again, the variance is a little bit wider, so there's less confidence in that heaviest snow falling either over us or just to our south. 15 for the high temperature tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. In fact, by tomorrow morning, wind chills will be down to below 0 through much of southern Wisconsin. The 7 to 10 day forecast, 20 for high on Saturday, the snow Saturday night into Sunday, also some snow on Monday, and then another system with some light snow from Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. That could bring minor accumulations. Temperatures, though, will be pretty close to average for much of the time period. As we take a look at first warn traffic, not seeing any delays on the roads right now. Beltline in pretty good shape. Actually, a little bit of a slowdown near Westtown Mall. Also, a very little bit of a slowdown approaching on the eastbound side, approaching Stoughton Road. Right now, a 17-minute commute on the eastbound Beltline, 15 minutes on the westbound Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate. Heading out of Madison, it's a 26-minute commute to Janesville from the Beltline southward, 17 minutes to Sauk City on US 12 from Middleton, and on US 151 and East Washington Avenue to Sun Prairie from downtown, it's 18 minutes. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. More to come at 5. Up next, a warning from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources about what's in our local waters. A story ahead at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my A1C because my body can still make its own insulin.
And Trulicity activates my body to release it,
lowering my blood sugar from the first dose
Once weekly Trulicity responds when my body needs it 24/7. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin.
It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include indigestion, fatigue, belly pain, decreased appetite, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
At GHC, we want you to be safer at home. We have more ways for you to get care anywhere, anytime, day or night. Be seen, be safe, be home. We will get through this together, and we will all get better together.
Dear all-wheel drive, I'm your new co-pilot, Camry. Let's show the road what we've got. Snowy streets, we're coming for you. Icy grip, we're holding tight. Wintry mix, safety's the name of our game. Steady, Camry all-wheel drive.
Right now, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Toyota Camry. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
When we hear a big storm's headed our way, some of us fall back into bed, some into fresh powder. Spending your day indoors or out, it's all about knowing what to expect. Watch News 3 Now for an accurate first warn forecast so you can plan your perfect day. Get more local news now with Channel 3000 Plus, our free digital streaming service that brings you area news and info 24/7 from the News 3 Now team. Channel 3000 Plus. Download it today and watch from your streaming media player or mobile device. The Packers have dominated in a difficult year as they battle for a league title, and we want to celebrate how far they've come. Tune in Saturday at 6:30 for a special event, Packers 2021, Titletown to Tampa, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Tests have revealed elevated levels of man-made chemicals known as PFAS in Madison area lakes. The Department of Natural Resources collected samples last year from Lakes Mendota, Monona, Upper Mud, Waubesa, and Kagansa, as well as sections of the Yahara River between the lakes. Department officials say the levels in those water bodies are higher than in Lake Mendota, which lies upstream from all of them. The department is working to establish safety standards for the PFAS, but in the meantime, plans to sample fish from the chain for PFAS, which could lead to some consumption advisories.
City of Madison preparing absentee ballots for the February 16th primary election. The initial mailing will include more than 11,000 ballots.
We don't have any sense yet as to what to expect for this election. So once again, we'll have to be very flexible and respond to voter demand as we begin to get more requests from voters.
She says there's usually about 25% turnout for this type of election, and they are prepared for more now that more people are familiar with voting absentee. In-person absentee voting will start on February 2nd. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
$6 million worth of top brand home furnishings must be sold at Ashley Home Store. All furniture is up to 50% off store-wide. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout and interest-free financing for up to 3 years. Stretch your stimulus check further at Ashley Home Store.
So I can get the latest phones free with no hidden requirements?
Yep. And do I have to get the most expensive plan?
Nope. No plan restrictions.
Okay, but we have to trade in our phones.
Right?
Right?
Nope.
phones.
Did you say free phones?
Yep, the latest phone's free for you.
Okay.
Switch to US Cellular and get the latest 5G phones free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits, like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy, no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Still a traffic jam. Just better views. Still your to-do list. Just getting more done. Still packing up. Just a little easier. The Chevy Silverado, making life's journey just better.
Right now, get $4,750 cash allowance on this 2021 Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners with an eligible GM credit card get an additional $1,750 total allowance. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
$6 million worth of furniture and mattresses must be sold at Ashley Home Store. Save up to 65% off doorbuster mattresses like these. Plus, pay as little as $25 per month, interest-free for up to 6 years on luxury sleep systems. Stretch your stimulus check further at Ashley Home Store.
Well, let's go back to Gary. One final check of the forecast.
Well, tonight there's a little band of a couple of snow flurries just kind of drifting southward through Wisconsin. It's actually with a cold front that's dropping off temperatures. Still 35 in Madison. Temperatures in the lower 30s to our north. Seeing some wind gusts in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range, especially out to the west of us. Wind chills right now not terribly cold. But take a look at these wind chills by tomorrow morning, down to between about 5 and 10 below zero through most of southern Wisconsin. Look for a low temperature down to around 7. High temperature tomorrow at 15, and then look for the potential for snow Sunday and Monday. We have alert days in the forecast there, and maybe another snow chance in the middle of next week.
Gary, thank you. We're back in 30 minutes with more local headlines. CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell coming up next. Stand by.